What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Geekly Goods. I'm Leo Rydell, and we're here to review Lovecraft Country Episode 2, Whitey on the Moon, guys. Before we dive in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ding that bell for reviews, reactions, rankings, and all kinds of randomness, guys, on everything in the Geekverse, from movies, TV shows, anime. Come on back, guys, and let's talk some more geek. And this time, let's talk about that Lovecraft Country episode, y'all, because whew, this was quite the episode. I want to start off by saying I might have not liked this episode as much as I liked that first one. I think that in the first episode, we had a much better balance of the two dualities of horror that I had mentioned in that first review. You know, you've got this grounded in reality horror of racism and times then, and then you've got extraterrestrial horror. So, you know, it balanced out very well in that first episode. I think in this episode, we get a lot more of the like magic and sci-fi elements that are starting to come into the series, because this one was very loaded. Like, there was all kinds of stuff revealed in this episode, lots of magic explored in this episode, and I gotta say, like I said, not as strong as that first one, but still a good episode. I still very much enjoyed it. When we start off the episode, things are cautiously optimistic. We start with the Moving On Up song, and we see Letitia and the uncle, and they're, you know, celebrating, and things just feel a little bit cautiously optimistic. So when I dropped into this episode, I'm instantly getting Get Out vibes. I'm like, something is going wrong. Something's not right here. And as we explore the episode, we start to see things are not as great as they seem. However, I love the trio in this episode, just like I liked them in that first episode. I don't want to drop any spoilers in this review, but I will say some things happen in this episode. We do get to meet Michael K. Williams' character, Tick's dad. He does show up in this episode. So I'm excited to see some more of this Lovecraft Country. But there's a lot in this episode that kind of went over my head. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm probably gonna have to go back and watch this episode again, but okay, light spoilers. I know I said this wasn't gonna be spoilers, but we learned that Tick is like a descendant to this guy named Titus Braithwaite, who is some kind of ominous weird figure. It seemed like there was like a cult going on behind the scenes, and there's a lot of magic and things discussed in this episode. Like, there are a lot of things that, I'm not gonna lie, went over my head. So I really want to go back and watch it, but I gotta say, I did kind of miss some of the, like, grounded in reality elements in the first episode, but there was still a little bit of that in here, where the trio stumbles upon this crazy huge tower that is like this stone dungeon-like looking substance. So, and they really think that Tick's dad is in there, which, watch the episode, I don't want to spoil, but there's this woman guarding the tower who is very typical racist at the time. Like, she's got the shotgun, she's got some dogs, and she's saying all these aggressive things. So, you know, we explore so many things in this episode that I gotta say, this episode is just a little loaded, but I did enjoy it. Just a little loaded, where we hit many different points. We learn things about Tick's characters. There's this crazy scene where the characters experience like their deepest desires, and it's just, there's a lot of things that happen in this episode, but I'm really looking forward to the rest of the series. I loved that pilot episode. I mean, that was another level. I really enjoyed this episode. We got to see a couple of other things as well. We got to also see like more of the monsters and kind of their origin. So we got a hint at where they come from, which is another like outlandish, crazy thing that happens in this episode. There's just so much. Like, honestly, I'm gonna go back, rewatch this, and maybe even talk about it again, because it was a good episode, but there's just so many layers that I probably missed a thing or two. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What did you think about Lovecraft Country Episode 2, Whitey on the Moon, which, by the way, is a play by Gil Scott Heron, so let me know. I mean, I thought that the scene it was played in was actually a pretty crazy music choice, and I love the insert it had in the scene. So let me know your thoughts, guys, and as always, feel free to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this content, guys, and we will see you next time on Geekly Goods.